What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Remote Front Office here. As always, before we get started, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, turn on notifications, all the YouTube stuff. We are slowly growing the channel. Again, we are 3 days a week, even in the off season here. And more, regular, normal NBA content will be coming out as we get closer and closer to the season. Hopefully, season schedules releases are soon. We'll have preseason reactions, regular season reactions, etc., etc., etc. Today, we are doing the Lakers offseason recap. So let's go ahead and get into it. First things first. So they lost Mo Bamba, which I think is fine for them personally. He didn't play that much. I think he is still more of a theoretical player rather than an actual player. I wish he would have signed to more of a team in rebuild rather than a team in contention because I just don't think he's going to get the minutes where he signed. We'll talk about him at a later date. Also lost Malik Beasley. I thought Malik Beasley was good when he was in Utah. For whatever reason, he lost his shooting touch in Los Angeles, and he just didn't play. So I hope that he kind of bounces back this year and has more of a normal Malik Beasley type year. But he is no longer on the roster. Troy Brown Jr. also no longer on the roster. I actually really liked him in LA. Versatile player, not necessarily the greatest shooter, but defender, play multiple positions. That's kind of what that team needs, is just versatile wings, and that's just what he is. Wenyen Gabriel still hasn't signed anywhere yet. He was more of kind of the bench big, but again, liked him in minutes, hustle, effort, all that sort of stuff. Dennis Schroeder is in Toronto. That one will be interesting. We'll talk about how they replaced him later on. But personally, I just think Dennis Schroeder for that team was really good. He showed effort, tenacity, played defense really well, and really complimented as far as their closing out lineup, especially because D'Lo couldn't really shoot in the playoffs. I really like what Dennis Schroeder brought to the roster. Lonnie Walker kind of just hasn't really lived up since he left San Antonio. Kind of a sign with San Antonio let you go, but you're probably not going to be on playing meaningful minutes for a winning team, right? So that's just kind of how that goes. Now, as to who they re-signed. Not re-signed, brought in, I guess. Jackson Hayes. I wish he would have gone to more of a rebuilding team. I understand he kind of took the lower end deal just to get his name on a really big market, prove himself, maybe get some playoff minutes, and then maybe he'll get that bigger contract next year. Personally, I just would have liked to have seen him again on a rebuilding team where he could get some minutes. I feel like he just kind of got buried on New Orleans bench, so we really didn't get to see what Jackson Hayes is. Also brought in Taurean Prince. Again, he'd be kind of an end-of-the-bench guy, a vet guy. Again, versatile, can shoot, a little bit of defense. Obviously, he's got a little older. His defense has slipped a little bit. But just a good floor spacer, multi-position player, and just a versatile player that you can have around LeBron. Cam Reddish, kind of an upside swing here. I didn't expect Portland to let him walk, but they did. And I don't know. In theory, Cam Reddish is perfect for this team. A shooter, a spacer, a little bit of a creator, good defender, athletic, rangy. It's all, again, in theory, as we've seen in the last couple of stops of Cam Reddish. Gabe Vincent is really the guy I really, really liked for this team. It's the Dennis Schroeder, as crazy that is to say, replacement. Defender, effort guy, is going to not necessarily have to have the ball in his hands all the time, so you're allowing LeBron, AD, Austin Reeves, those guys to create, and he can kind of be more of a catch-and-shoot guy and handle it in spots. And again, effort, defense, that sort of guy really complements this team really well. And then they brought back Rui Hachimura. I thought his deal was a little high, but I understood it. He showed something a little bit in the playoffs. I'm still not a big Rui fan just because of the Wizards days. But I think as far as the court spacing, he's a bigger body. He can eventually grow into, I think, at least an average to maybe slightly above average defender. I didn't like his money, but I understood it. Austin Reeves, I think, was probably a pretty bargain deal, honestly. I really thought Austin Reeves was going to get 20 annually. He did not. And so I really think it helps the Lakers cap sheet going forward. And also, I wonder if teams just think he hit his peak last year and he won't go any further past what happened last year, right? They also brought back D'Angelo Russell. D'Angelo Russell has his hot streaks, has his cold streaks. Never been a big D'Angelo Russell guy just because I think he's such a negative on the defensive end. But again, in theory, when he's going, you want somebody that's a scorer, a creator, a spacer, and can really just have that shooting ability next to LeBron, right? Even if the defense is bad. So I think as far as a regular season goes, I think he's a really good fit next to LeBron for the regular season. The last thing I want to touch on, since actually we're doing this on the absolute perfect day here, Anthony Davis signed a 3-year max extension today that puts him through 2028 with the Lakers. I kind of understand it from AD's perspective, right? You're starting to get ready to go into your 30s. You haven't had the greatest injury history. We're not sure as far as how many games you're going to play annually. So the fact you got a 3-year max out of it instead of waiting until next summer to try for a 5. And it seems like teams are really taking the second apron seriously. And maybe that max wouldn't have been out there. But I'm also surprised that with the uncertainty of LeBron after this year, the AD was so open to signing it now, right? It's August 4th. I'm really surprised that Anthony Davis was like, yeah, I'll take it right now. I figured he would have wanted to wait until we knew from LeBron for sure, right? Until next offseason and see if you can get a 4-year deal or something like that. 4-year with like a team option or whatever. Because then you kind of know, hey, LeBron's not going to be here no more. It's just going to be me by myself with these guys that we have signed currently, right? So that's a little interesting that he did it as early. Maybe it's just because he wanted to lock in that max money right now. But yeah, that's my thought on the Lakers. Wow, English. Lakers offseason. I think it's an A for them. You brought back the right talent. You didn't overpay too bad for anybody. The contracts that you did kind of get a little bit higher than I thought. Those equal out to potentially a max guy if you want to do a trade and bring in that third max guy and try that this way in this league nowadays. But I think all in all, it's like an A. I think pending injuries, again, obviously all these like far way too early predictions are pending injuries. You don't know Anthony Davis's history. With Anthony Davis's history, with LeBron's history, you just never know, right? But I think this is potentially a conference finals team again. Do they get swept by Denver this time? I don't know. But I think as far as the additions you made, I would have liked to see them maybe get more of a wing defender, considering this league is so wing heavy. But as far as getting a guard defender, that's what Gabe Vincent is. And I just think that you surrounded LeBron with the right pieces that as long as him and Anthony Davis are healthy to make another run, right? But that's my thoughts on it. Let me know your guys' thoughts down on the Lakers offseason down below. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.